and welcome to today's Pretty Perennials card class. And have to say, firstly, I'm blown away with the amount of people who signed up for this class, which is amazing. Thank you. I have 14 of you who are taking part, plus people who may be watching, so hello. So thank you for purchasing the class. I hope you enjoy the cards. Had so many comments on the colours, which I did pinch from someone else, and I cannot remember who it was. I'll try and find that at some point. So let's say hi to Hannah, Mandy, Vanessa, Maria, and it's Maria's birthday, I think. Maybe tomorrow or yesterday. Anyway, happy birthday, Maria. Sally, Lisa, Nicola, Sandra, Donna, Alison, Karen, Debbie, Karen, and Elaine. So, little roll call there. So what I'm going to do in this first video, I'm going to do a number of videos, and this week I will try and tell you the right time and put them on the right time. The first one is I'm going to go through the pack and we're going to do some prep. We're going to do some prep work, okay? And this is going to be a shorter video, but it's all in the prep. So in your pack, you should have 2 of these shapes, a white one and a smoky slate. You should have a square, stitch square, and a stitch rectangle. You will have a little portion of the sheer pool party ribbon. I think you've got 1.5 meters. And then you should have 2 So Saffron card bases, 2 Coastal Cabana card bases, and 2 Smoky Slate card bases. Remember to put envelopes in. 6 envelopes. Yep, we are going to make 6 cards. And then you have a piece of So Saffron A4, Smoky Slate A4, and 2 pieces of Whisper White. And for the moment, I want you to put everything to one side apart from the white card. So put your card bases and your envelopes back in your pack maybe, and your ribbon and everything, and your die cuts, they can all go back. And we're just going to do some stamping to start with. Now grab your blocks as well and your trimmer. I've not got my blocks out, naughty. Should have got these out. Pop them there in front of me. Okay, right. So we are going to use 1 full sheet to make a background. And we're going to use this to make these backgrounds. It's like calling it a 1 sheet wonder, okay? And we're going to do various cards, and you can even freestyle. I might even get you to freestyle. So it would help if you had a mat for stamping on or a spongy surface. So at the moment, just put 1 white sheet to one side, and we're going to start and stamp on half of this. Now, if you've got one of these mats, it's probably a good idea to, I'm going to buy another one or find my other one. I have got others. And stick them together so you've got a big one that's bigger than an A4, because we're going to have to keep moving this, all right? Now, what we've got is some of you bought ink pads. So there was Smoky Slate, So Saffron, and Coastal Cabana. And I'm going to start with this big flower. Whenever I'm doing a 1 sheet wonder, I always start with the biggest image. So I'm going to start with that big flower. Pop it on my block and open up the Coastal ink pad. And I'm going to randomly stamp this on here. Now, if your ink pad's new, it could be very juicy and it could be very dark, and you may want to stamp off. But this, as you can see, mine's a bit faded in the middle, so it's actually okay. This is like a watercolour effect. So if you look on the front of the stamp set, it's like a watercolour effect. It's not supposed to be a solid image. So I'm stamping them randomly. I'm not doing them all in a row. And I'm going to move my card over as I go. And you don't want to do them too far apart. When you get to the top, pop your card on the edge, along with the edge, and then just do one with your mat, and you can have a half one like that. If you don't have a mat, it doesn't matter, but just make sure you get your stamping. You could even put a magazine underneath, that might help, than a hard table. You know, and just have a look. We don't want too much white space, so I don't want that gap there. So again, I'm going to pop that down there and just do a little portion there. And again, I might have one hanging off here, like that. And have another one hanging off there, like that. So the great thing about doing it like this is we're not changing blocks all the time, because I know some of you have only got, so have a look now, and I think I've got too many gaps down here. There's too much white here. So I'm going to do one in the corner there like that, and then I'm going to do some here. Okay, yep. Oof. You know, you could go on, you could carry on forever. But I'm going to leave it at that for now. In the meantime, keep your Coastal Cabana ink open, and if you have got a smaller block, take this block, and we're going to use this stamp, which unfortunately does look like a germ or a virus. It's this one for the centre. Now this time we don't mind if it's a bit darker, so I'm going to be tempted to use the ink around the edge that is probably a little bit darker, and then stamp it in the centre like that. It just finishes it off really nice. Hope you agree. There we go. Oh, I missed one. Maybe just have a little bit poking out there. Right. So the next sort of rule, if there is a rule, is to do the next sort of size down. Now I decided not to use this stamp. I'm just going to have a little drink. I decided not to use that one. I don't know why. I could do. But what I'm going to use is this one. So that one there. Okay, and what we're doing is we're keeping one flower to one colour, which helps with the cleaning of the stamps. So now I'm going to go with the yellow, the saffron, and I'm going to do this flower in between. And I need to say that if you're struggling, you can pause me, you can ask a question on the chat, you can rewind. if you need to stop for any reason. Okay, so that's that one done. And it's coming together now, hope you agree. Right, what I'm going to do now is, it's hard to show you on, let me find a card to show you. Right, on here, I'm going to use these spots. Now these, it's this stamp, and it's supposed to go on this stalk. They're supposed to be like little sort of berries or buds, but I think they're great as a stamp in their own right, as little sort of spots. So I'm going to pop those on a block, and I'm going to use the saffron still, and I'm going to, don't know why, I've got some, I think I've got some coastal capenna on my finger, because I've seen some on my page. And I'm really gonna fill in again, just keep filling. Oops, I'm sticking. You can always add more with this, but you can't take it away, so we are going to add some grey in a second. So I line up, if I just want a couple on, I line up my paper with the edge of my mat. If you haven't bought one of these mats and you have a few of these clear stamps, I would advise getting one. They're £4.50, but they're not in the catalogue. They're called Stampin' Pierce mat. Okay, so I think I've done enough with that. I can always come back to that. And now I'm going to take this little one, yeah, this sort of spotty filler. Where is it? It's there. It was hiding from me. And now watch it change now when we have the grey. And this is a great one for filling. You think you've got no more gaps, but then you take a small stamp. Oops. You take a small stamp and then you soon fill the gaps. And we're just being random because it's going to look totally different when we cut this card up. Yeah. And I know you probably might not want to cut it up on this one then. See if I can line it up. Not bad. Okay, just have a look and see if you've got any white space left. We are going to use another grey stamp in a minute. Could go on forever doing this. You could think, I need that there. Need one there, or I need one there. And as I say, it will look different when we start cutting it up. You might find you've got gaps. And finally, we're going to take this tiny, tiny one that's got 6 little dots. And we're going to fill even more. And this is where you can go to town. So little taps on your ink pad. You might want to do these in coastal actually. In fact, you know, I might even just do a few more grey ones. And I might go back and just add a little bit of Coastal Cabana with this one, clean my stamp off, and just add a bit. So I'm just doing light taps on my ink pad, tap, tap. Yeah, I'm not. And then down and back up again. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean that off, close up these ink pads and open up Coastal Cabana again. And I'm going to go to the edges where it's a bit darker, and look, it's almost like it's a different colour. You see, I love that. I didn't do that before on my other cards. Yeah. Love the addition of that. You can always add some of these after as well, once you've cut your card up. Don't know if I've said that already, probably have. Okay, I think I'm happy with that. Right, let's close that up. So, ta-da, there we go. So that's taken us about 15 minutes to do that. I'm just going to clean my hands. Okay. Oops, and now I'm just going to check something more. 4. Right. Okay, so what I want us to do now is to grab our other piece of A4. Now this piece of card is going to be for stamping the sentiments on and things. But if you want to, you can be really frugal and not use loads, so then you can do another, maybe a half of a one sheet wonder. So I actually might cut this in half. So I'm going to put it in horizontally and cut it at 14.8 centimetres and just have it as an A5. Yeah, and pop it there like that. And I'm going to grab a larger block and I'm going to grab my happy. I love this stamp. Okay, and what you need to do, we're going to do, as I said, we're going to do prep work. We're going to stamp 3 smoky slate happies. And you do them quite next to each other to get the most out of your paper, your card. I'm just trying to be most frugal with it, but I don't think it's going to make much difference. But okay, so I've got 2 happies one way and one another way. And then give your stamp a clean. And I've done this so that we didn't make one card, then have to clean in between and make another card and then be going between all the colours. I thought we'd get the prep work done, right? And then we're going to stamp two. We're going to do 2 with smoky slate. No, so saffron, I mean, sorry. So saffron. And we should be able to get these here. I've got a bit of fluff on there. Just going to do another one because I had a bit of residue on my pea. There we go. So you only need to do 5. Just checking. We can do the birthdays later. We don't have to do those now. So what I'm going to do is, rather than watch me sit and cut out all these happies, and so people can get caught up, we've got 3 smoky slates and 2 so saffrons. We're going to cut these out. So I'll do one. I'll start off with one and I'll show you how I cut, which I know might sound a little bit, what do you mean? You don't need to show me how to cut out. But there's a way that I do it. So I move the card really rather than the scissors, and I'm leaving a little bit of white around it. Quite a bit of white actually. And I don't go right in. I'll hold it up to the camera. You don't have to go right down there if you don't want to, where the H is. Now I know that people don't often like doing this or struggle. I would recommend, if you haven't already purchased some, getting some of our paper snips, these scissors, because they are fabulous. So as you can see, I've left quite a bit of a gap around the letters, all right? And I'm going to cut the rest of them out, and I'm going to leave you time to cut the rest of yours out. Now, we've been about 26 minutes so far. It should nearly be 2:30. What I'm going to do is, I'm not going to come back on until 3 o'clock, and it's definitely 3 o'clock. I'm going to write that down and tell myself 3 o'clock. And this, I'm giving you half an hour to finish your stamping if you've not finished your stamping, and to cut your 5 happies out. All right. And you should still have, look what I've still got left. I've still got this left, okay, and sort of half of this really. So you've plenty of white card left, okay? So I will reconvene with you at 3 o'clock with your sheet of stamped card and with your 5 happies, all right? I'll see you at 3 o'clock. See you in a bit, bye.